What's something that is totally normal in movies but never happens in real life? Not making mistakes when talking. And if they do make a slight stutter, it's because they are lying. People in their 20s having large lavish apartments, while having a lot of free time outside work. Ask your friends to meet you at a predetermined time and place with no explanation as to why. I have a hard time getting friends to meet up for legitimate reasons with advance notice. Meanwhile, movie characters come together in an abandoned warehouse in Brazil like all walk in at the same time. Why do you call, quote, greater than all walk in at the same time? I mean, how are they so synchronized? They arrived on time. Mom makes huge breakfast and lays it all out. Kids and husband grab a bagel on the way out the door, ignoring all the food. If we did that to my mom, she'd become the villain in the story, go full Super Satan and make us eat. Also, said mom is probably a doctor or a lawyer but still has the time and energy to make a custom breakfast for everyone in the family, eggs with bacon and toast for dad, pancakes for Junior, waffles for little sis, all while she is feeding the baby her meal, spoon by spoon. Wherever the detective has to go, he always finds a parking spot right in front of the place, downtown Manhattan included. Suddenly singing in with matching choreography. High School Musical lied to me. Me an Indian, pathetic. Someone goes up to a bar and asks for alcohol or beer and the bartender gives it to them without asking the brand or type. Good one. I also can't recall a scene where people actually pay for their drinks. If anything, they just leave a pile of money on the bar without ever asking how much the tab was. Hello sir, I would like 1 alcohol please. People surviving wounds, injuries that should be fatal. Takes like 7 shots, crawls to machine gun and operates it. That's not so unbelievable. I know people that drink 7 shots and still drive home. Subtitles. As someone who went backpacking through the rural areas of England, Ireland, Scotland and Wales, I wish there were subtitles. Having 1 or 2 drags of a cigarette and throwing it away. You know how expensive those fucking things are. Teenagers being built like fucking tanks. Always having your hair look nice. People never seem to say hello or goodbye on the phone in a movie. Why is that? Because you have only 40 minutes per episode. Background music. Life would be so much better with background music. Please God, implement this ASAP. Not sneezing or coughing. And you just know that if someone sneezes or coughs, they're dying of lung cancer or as patient 0 of a new disease. When they throw a cigarette on petrol, gas, and it lights up, that actually doesn't happen in real life. The cigarette isn't hot enough for it to cause this. Then why can't people smoke at gas stations? The spark from your lighter or match would cause the explosion. The fumes is what is flammable. I'm guessing more off-gassing happens at the pump than a puddle of gas on the ground. People waking up with perfect makeup. My wife points this out in everything we watch. People going to sleep with perfect makeup. I point this out in almost everything I watch. The marvelous Mrs. Maisel lampshades this trope pretty well. She gets up before her husband every morning to put on makeup and then gets back in bed right before the alarm goes off. So she looks pristine for hi monsieur. Answering your phone when you don't recognize the number. Guy walks in holding a 30-page document. Gives to some other dude. The dude who's getting the document glances at the first page for a nanosecond and immediately knows everything there is to know about this case. Everyone's house is neat and tidy. And fucking massive even if they're broke. People recovering very quickly from injuries, especially head injuries. I just got unconscious but I'm fine, look, no concussion, see? Sex happening in seconds, fully clothed. I don't have time to explain, we need to go. Quote, zombies outside. Need to go now. Tsunami incoming. Need to go now. Shouldn't take too long to explain. Han looks at Luke's old blue lightsaber. Where did you get this? Considering it fell into a gas giant, that's a fair question that I would have liked answered. When the girl says, "You're so big," quote, "I hear that all the time. Carrot carrot because carrot carrot I'm carrot carrot 6'4" carrot carrot not carrot carrot because carrot carrot pp. Hacking is typing really fast. All channels always having either news or old movies. Things going according to plan. Most knockout drugs don't work very fast. Chloroform is always depicted to be some instant knockout drug when in reality it takes several minutes of constant exposure to knock someone unconscious. I'd guess a bad guy standing there for 7 minutes waiting for the hero to pass out would probably make for a boring movie. People in movies can tell if other characters are speaking sarcastically or not. Clarity is more often sought out in real-life conversations. Taking one bite and you're done, haha. Asterisk husband comes rushing down the stairs, briefcase and jacket in hand. He finds a full breakfast in the kitchen table with different breads, fruits, eggs and a massive jar of orange juice. Asterisk. Oh hey honey, I'm running late. Asterisk takes a bite of a croissant leaving it on the table. Kisses the wife, takes one sip out of the orange juice and runs out the door. Asterisk. Dash dot dot dot. I woke up 3 hours ago to make all of this, you ungrateful fuck. Yeah, I don't care where I'm working. A full-on breakfast being made for me is gonna get eaten. Shouldn't the wife know his schedule by now? I mean, damn. All she had to do was look at the clock to see he was already late and throw a few things in a lunchbox or something. She could have made that croissant into a breakfast sandwich. Convenient for him to run out the door. And she still gets the satisfaction of being appreciated. Yeah, people like to rag on the husband and the kids. But seriously, this feels like the kind of thing that a mother-wife might do in a dysfunctional family and then bring up during an argument out of nowhere. Speaking of which, any sitcom writers hanging out here on Reddit, there's a free idea for a scene. Happy endings. You're just not going to the right massage parlor. If you cough, you die. 2020 summarized. Women orgasm within seconds. Saying, shrink, as in therapist. No one says that in real life. Having a forced love plot with no chemistry. And love at first sight. That kind of bullshit. I hate it when they force a love story in a movie based on a true story. It can work, though. The love story in Titanic is not real. But it creates a good framing device to bring you into the world and give you people to root for and care about when things go bad. As with most tropes, in the right hands they can work. But most times it is just lazy writing. Unlimited bullets and accuracy 100% for shooting normal bad guys. Just showing up at someone's front door unannounced. And getting welcomed like the hospitable people they are. How normalized stalking is. You dropped this, so I followed you for 3 hours to give it back to. Kiss and hug. Now we're dating. In reality, it's Mason called the cops for stalking. The bad guy showing up out of nowhere at the end after he was already incapacitated. People who wake up and start making out. We all know you have dog shit breath first thing in the morning. Bursting into song and dance in the middle of the school hallway and not getting into trouble. Getting into trouble would be the last in my thoughts. First, what are these kids on? Enhancing a shitty quality image to 4K and zooming into the size of a microbe with perfect clarity. The pushy dude in the rom-com ends up getting the girl, whereas in real life they'd be more likely to end up with a restraining order. They go into pubs and they're empty, no one there. That guns never need to reload. Those 1 in a million chances where someone survives for plot or a side character dies. For plot, an interested woman has a sudden change of heart for the loser guy and they live happily ever after. Every computer in a movie or show constantly chirps, beeps when used. That would be really damn annoying in real life. The United States saving the world. I can write books about how Bollywood movies show a false side to everything. But for this post-Bollywood film being shot in literally any country other than India equals crime. Happens in that film. The policeman in that foreign country is an Indian and speaks Hindi perfectly. I wonder how many countries have policemen who are Indians. I've been to a lot of countries and I've never seen a single Indian policeman or policewoman. Outside of India, I've met a couple of cops that speak Hindi in the UK, US, and Germany, working as a waitress and living in a huge apartment with the fridge full and expensive clothes. In action movies where the main character kills like 100 bad guys. Serial killers just standing there staring at you and giving you enough time to escape. Silencers make a PFFFFT sound. Silencers are still pretty loud. If you shoot one it won't go unnoticed. They're special, silent guns, which are very, very quiet, but these aren't available generally. You're right about the silencers. I guess movie people just play out the symbolic value. Fire a weapon without being heard. Since it doesn't hurt, nobody ever complains. The worst thing that could happen is that somebody planning to murder someone would find out that his plan to fire the weapon without anyone noticing would fail. Crossbows are very lethal, but rarely ever used as a weapon in movies. In a boxing movie, the hero always wins by dramatic KO in the later rounds, having lost every round up until that point, and taking a severe beating. In reality, the fight would have been stopped in his opponent's favor several rounds previously. Apparently in Lilo and Stitch it's normal to have a blue creature with 6 legs that talks. Dogs aren't usually like that. No, they're usually green with 5 legs. Do your research before replying to something. SMH. Men go from first kiss to hard enough for sex within 5 seconds. It's not a safety raft. It takes time to inflate. I'm almost 50 and it doesn't take more than 5 seconds for me. You might want to see a doctor, because that doesn't sound normal to me. Nobody ever has to use the toilet. It all ends with a goddamn dance party. What are you talking about? I always end my long days by having a dance party with my labyrinth friends. You don't do that? Yeah, after we beat Emperor Palpatine back in '83, we had a great dance party with the Ewoks. How they get away with shit. The teens have these highly sexual, drug-fueled lives. Like we'd, yeah maybe, but just a little exaggerated. People always understanding what the other person is saying. Every person has a name that they don't share with anyone else. I was thinking about this in Marvel movies when half the actual cast making them are named Chris. 3 Chris's and 2 Toms and 2 Benedicts. Walking home from the grocery store carrying a single paper bag with an unwrapped loaf of French bread sticking out the top. Someone's arms falling off just because they sneezed. Are oddly specific. Women sleeping with full face makeup and perfect hair. In a fight, those henchmen usually fight the main character one by one, one-on-one until they all get beaten. Police take a DNA sample and have the results in an hour. Easily avoidable issues if the person just explains what is happening. Just showing up where they need to be without any indication of time passing. A crash or chase happens with shooting and stuff and every other car continues to drive as if nothing is going on around them. People slam in the brakes in real life cause a cop is going the opposite direction on the highway. Yet you watch a Marvel movie and a dude's tailgating a van Captain America and Ultron are actively fighting on. No one ever says bye on the phone. All carried luggage is light AF. No one needs a haircut. Ever. Scientists are experts in every field of science. E.g. the physicists in annihilation concluding the tree formations are due to homeotic mutations. There's also the inverse of this in a way. When an expert spouts some science that is absolutely absurd in reality. Like the mutating neutrinos in 2012. When the girl is walking on the street holding her books and bumped into an attractive man, who helps her collecting her books from the floor, then they look at each other and fall in love. Seeing upside down. Perception doesn't change just because the bad guy is hanging you by your feet out of a window. Only going to parties and chilling out in high school but still acing tests. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.